Welcome to Knicks.com. Jonah Ballow here at MSG Training Center. The team getting away for a matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks after a big win over Denver and a great performance there. But in terms of this Milwaukee team, what do you see from them? On paper, we're seeing a little bit better of a defensive squad since Jason Kidd's been there, and we're putting up some decent numbers on that side of the floor. What do you see from them from a defensive standpoint?
Well, they're long, they're active, they're aggressive, they are challenging teams to score the ball from the outside because of their length. Teams don't want to necessarily penetrate because they're really playing active defense around the basketball.
Brandon Knight's put up some big numbers this year, maybe growing into his own as a point guard and under Jason Kidd there. What have you seen from Brandon Knight, the guard there out of Kentucky?
B. Knight is playing a lot like he did last year, but the thing is that they're getting a better variety of shots. His distribution has improved because he's got shooters now that I think are being wanting to get involved within the offense, so I think he's actively conscious of that. And they're spraying the ball around pretty well because they do have people that want to score, who are very capable of scoring, so I think it's his job to make sure that they get the ball at the appropriate times.
Now Jason's adjusted the starting lineups a couple times. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think I got it right. Okay. The Greek Freak, we'll stick with that. He's been in and out, and Ilyasova as well. So looks like Parker and the Greek Freak there as a tandem makes them an athletic front five, right?
Well, they're both young. I think they're both 19. Giannis will turn 20, I think, in December. Yeah. But they're active. They got fresh legs. They both have a passion for the game. So with that activity and youthfulness, they're taking advantage of just playing basketball. They're probably fulfilling their dreams. I know Giannis is, and Jabari, during the interview, of course, time we interviewed him, I know he has a passion for the game as well. So they're just showing that on through their basketball experience.
Isn't it so interesting how two guys, two walks of lives can come together and take different paths, and now they're on the same team, sort of excelling and finding their own ways?
Well, sports is a wonderful vehicle for life. And here are two people, and I'm quite sure 2 years ago Giannis didn't think that he would be in the NBA, because last year, having a relationship with him, he was like a kid in a candy store. Yeah. I mean, it was indeed a dream. And Jabari has the same passion. And so when you embrace the game the way they do, kind of a youthful bliss, and now you're actually fulfilling dreams, they let it show within the court.
Jason Kidd, what he did in Brooklyn, it was pretty successful in the second half of the season when they made that playoff push. Do you see any differences in how he's coaching this Milwaukee team compared to what he did in Brooklyn?
Well, not totally familiar with what he did, quote unquote, in Brooklyn, but what I think he's done with this basketball team, because of their youth and freshness to the approach of the game, I think he's tried to simplify it. And in keeping it simple, that frees the guys up, and so they don't have to worry about thinking so much as they actually go out and play. And I think he's using a combination of his experience as a point guard, trying to get B. Knight to understand, once again, the distribution part. You've got people on your team that can and want to score, so I think it's a delicate balance. He's trying to figure out the right combinations, because he has varied his lineup and his substitution pattern somewhat this early season. But once again, they continue to respond to him. So whatever he's doing, if he's got the magic potion, bless him. But our job tomorrow night is trying to slow it up a little bit, get back in transition, and make it difficult for them to take advantage of all these tools at their disposal.
All right, you got Melo and JR going for a combined 56. Melo's been on a torrid pace in the past 3 games. What do you like about what your team accomplished, not only in Denver, but these past couple games, and how that can translate to maybe a win against Milwaukee and Minnesota here on this road trip?
Well, first of all, we've got to continue doing the things that we're doing at the defensive end of the floor. And not that we're doing it poorly, but I think we have to continue to limit our opponents in transition defense, because they're going to run the ball at us tomorrow night. We've got to do a good job in cleansing our painted area, contesting shots, and then we cannot put them on the free throw line. That puts ourselves in jeopardy. If we can do that on the defensive end, and offensively, we need to spray the ball around. We got to continue to find the open man, let him decide if that's his shot, or let him move it on, and play with our passion. And we cannot win this game from the perimeter. We're going to have to get some points in the paint. We're going to have to throw the ball into the paint to make them defend. And then if we get the three-point shot, the open jump shot on the way back out, that's fine and dandy. But just for us to come down and shoot threes randomly, that's not going to be good enough tomorrow night.
Great stuff as always. Now forget about all these stats and breaking down the other teams. Are you ready for the cold? It's going to be like 18 degrees and I think an 11 in Minnesota.
Well, fortunately, I don't think we need to be outside from the plane to the bus, from the bus to the hotel. I've got my coat.
All right. Well, hopefully I have mine and ready to go. So we appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much.
Well, you're more than welcome.
There he is, assistant coach Jim Cleamons, right here on Knicks.com.